Come on in, everybody. Welcome to the Survivor Now podcast. As always, my name is Randy, and I am joined today by Abraham, our favorite castaway from season 41. Abraham, you have a new wallpaper, or like a new background for us. So what's the background that I'm seeing here?
So when I was on the show, there's 7 players flying back on the airplane. That's it. It was pandemic time. We were coming back to the States. We had already finished up our part. My man Keith, unfortunately, Keith passed away. But I just wanted to show, hey, Keith was taking care of us and getting us back home. But it's 7 of us on that plane, and that's it.
So that's Keith behind you right there.
That's Keith, man. Keith was a producer. Keith was one of the people, the handlers for Survivor. Great guy, man. I mean, he's the one that told me, he said, no matter if you get voted out first or you win the game, it's how you do what you want to do with it. Which brings me here. I'm on a podcast talking about Survivor all the time now. But he he planted that little seed when we used to talk in Ponderosa when I got back after playing the game. So I said, man, let me put Keith up on the screen tonight.
That is incredible. Yeah, obviously heartbreaking to hear that we lost Keith. A lot of castaways said they had such high praise for Keith, but we have a lot to talk about, and hopefully we're testing something out here. Hopefully there's 2 separate streams happening at the exact same time here on the Survivor Now channel because we had a scheduling conflict. Unfortunately, Sam Webb from Survivor Australia, Heroes versus Villains, Survivor Australia Season 1, he got sick, so he was unable to join us this week. And then Tegwith is also out feeling under the weather. So at the same time of this podcast, Survivor Social is also going to be going live with David's great friend, Adam. So excited to hear what he has to say about the latest episode. So welcome to the Survivor Now family, Adam. Man, we've got a lot to talk about. Now, I remember also, if you guys want to get into the chat, let us know how you thought about the episode. Get into that Ancient Voices live chat. We would love to hear from you guys and your opinions. Now, David messaged me last night, Abraham, and he was like, what a boring episode. I don't know if we can talk for an hour about the episode. Not much happened. I kind of disagree. It was a little, it was kind of a meh elimination, even though we all love Jamie. We didn't see any of the big players go home, but I still feel like there's a lot to talk about after last night's episode because I felt like the pieces for the finale, it was definitely a setup episode for the finale, and all these pieces started coming together. Who do we need to take out at the final 5? Because obviously you want to take out a big threat before they have a chance to make fire at the final 4.
It was a lot of gameplay and a lot of, what we expected in Survivor was, I'm going to tell you one thing, but I'm going to do something else. Hey, but I wish that Jam would have to pull the trigger because eventually you will have to eat your own. And right now, if I had to put the Tika 3 together, Carolyn got my vote. Carolyn has done more. She's got it. She played her idol, and she played it successfully. And Jam, he won a challenge, so I'll give him that. Carson hasn't won a challenge. He's going to try to say he's been the mastermind of every vote, but Jam is going to say the same thing. He was the mastermind of every vote. So I think they kind of cancel each other out. But Heidi might be that sleeper because I don't think she played her idol correctly, but I think she had until the last 5 to play it, or was it in the last 6?
I would assume last 5 is what I'm thinking.
So she could have played it. She could have played it next time and made it to the final 4. So I think it was a misstep on the idol and the way it was played. I don't think. I'm like, hey, y'all down to 5. Y'all down to 6. Y'all, it's not. Y'all gotta eat your own now. Y'all can't take everybody. So,
but it's not too late, Abraham. It's not. Statistically, during this new era, the 5th vote, that crucial person you vote out, the person who finishes 5th right before fire making, has been a big time player. So they do have another vote to get them out. And then if you can't get out that big player, your last chance is to make them go to fire, like we saw with Jesse last season, where Jesse was a big time player. Everyone knew he was going to win. They sent him the fire and they eliminated him in fire. So, I mean, there's still a couple chances, but I guess the question is, has Tika waited too long to make this move?
I'm gonna say Tika waited too long because if you had a threat, Heidi has exposed herself as having an idol. So now you got a big target on her back. You got Lauren, she's standing out, she's winning the immunity idol. You know, who's gonna compete against her? She's been we could even almost say she's a champ. But you know,
I think you got to win at least 3. Give me one more, Lauren, and then I'll say you're a challenge piece.
One more is coming. And here's the thing about it is, all your strategy trying to get up there depends on you winning immunity doing the individual immunity challenge. You lose the next one, and Heidi or Lauren wins it. Now they're looking like, okay, well, we saw that you did not vote like you told me you were going to vote. You've exposed yourself. Each and every one of the players on Tika Tribe has exposed themselves to say that I'm not going to vote with you. Heidi is the wild card because she still voted. She didn't vote it with Lauren now. So at the end of the night, Heidi is the wild card. Lauren wins immunity. All you need is one player from Tika to jump ship. One player. That's it.
Which it was almost Jam this past episode. It was almost Jam jumping ship to get Carolyn out of the game. And the producers did a great job. I saw Stephen Fishback tweet this. And the episode is still fresh in my mind. I went to a soccer game last night. So I just literally watched it. But I saw a tweet from Stephen Fishback who said producers did a great job making us believe that it was not going to be an easy vote, when in the end it was an easy vote. Jamie was kind of like, yeah, let's just get Jamie out. It did look like the Tika 3 were going to stay Tika strong, but they kind of made it look like Jam was going to pull the trigger to get out Carolyn, because we saw early on in the episode, Carolyn is telling everyone, I played my idol. I had the idol all along. I planted the red X's. Sarah went home with my fake idol. I mean, Abraham, Jam sitting there, he's like, stop talking. Your target is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So, I mean, in the game of Survivor, should you brag about, how good you are, or should you kind of save that for your final jury speech?
Here's the thing, editing only shows us what fits into the time slot. I'm pretty sure they already know she already said all that stuff. You're just capturing it and it's being put together to look like it's seamless. But here's the thing, they can't beat Carolyn. What move did they make that's outshining Carolyn right now? They can always say, well, we've always made all the moves. But if a Lauren gets in there, none of the Tika Tribe can beat Lauren. What are you going to tell them? Because we heard the first words. Everybody's working on their resume from Jamie. Time to work on your resume. It's time to get ready for jury management. And then who's on that jury that's going to vote for one of the Tika members to win if any of the other two are there?
Oh, I don't know about that, Abraham. I think the Tika members, I think one of them are like prime in the driving seat to win this season.
Who's that? Which one?
What do you mean, which one?
Okay, which Tika member is in the driver's seat?
I mean, I think all 3 of them have by far played the best game. You see everyone each week say that we got to get those Tika members out. Franny, back when she was like, hey, they're playing the middle, we got to watch out. And now people are starting to realize, look, Tika has the numbers now. And I just think if any of those Tika members are sitting in the final 3, Lauren, even though she has those 2 immunity wins, Heidi, I think, is possibly going to be the 0 vote finalist this season. I don't think either of those 2 have what it takes to be a Tika member unless Lauren can win 1 more immunity or she wins fire. I don't think Heidi, and I'm sorry, Heidi, I don't think Heidi has a chance. She could surprise me like Gabler surprised a lot of people, like Erica surprised a lot of people, and I would be fine with it. But I just don't think that Heidi has a chance to be any of the Tika members. I do think Lauren could. I just told my mom tonight, I was like, if Lauren wins this season, people are going to be pissed. If anybody other than a Tika member wins this season, people are going to be pissed because they are so loved. The edit has been showing Tika this entire season. You know this, Abraham. The fans love big characters. Those have been the biggest characters. So I literally said, if anyone other than Carson, Jam Jam or Carolyn wins this season, everyone's going to think it's a letdown. And I feel bad for Lauren and Heidi because they've played good seasons, but it happened last season where season 43 was really good. Gabler won and everyone shit the season. Everyone hated it just because of the ending. They wanted Cassidy or Owen to win, and Gabler won, and it left a sour taste in everyone's mouth.
All you got to do is convince the jury. Look,
I agree.
At the end of it, the players is not picking themselves to win. They're competing to get there for an opportunity to win. Ultimately, the jury decides on who's the sole survivor. Now, if you don't have jury management or you got a little bit of pettiness, either or, and. But and here's the thing about it is anybody that makes it to the end deserves to win.
I agree 1,000%. But the fans don't see it like that.
Yeah. And here's the thing about it is play the game and tell me, play the game and then come back and we can talk about it. Because there's so much stuff that you don't see that goes into jury management that just doesn't make the screen that says, this is the reason why I voted for this person here. And here's the thing about it is they may look at Carson and be like, yeah, Carson, we saw you. And yeah, you try to make some moves. But remember, Carson was bumbling there early in the season. He was just spilling the beans with everybody. He wasn't playing a clean game. Now, he's playing an ultimately great game. Now, what has he done? What has Carson done besides say, hey, let's vote? And if you say manipulating other people, everybody's trying to manipulate everybody. They would have voted Lauren out last night had she not won immunity. Now we're looking at, okay, who can we vote out? Heidi plays her hidden immunity idol too soon because she didn't believe in nobody. She hasn't trusted anybody. So if she'd have held on to it one more time, and Lauren, and again, these are just ifs, but again, it's looking pretty probable, and Lauren wins immunity, guess what? Now, who do you vote out? Heidi plays that. Lauren got immunity. Now be like, okay, who turns on who first? I just think that in order for one of the Tika members to win Survivor this season, they're going to have to vote out one of their own.
I mean, I think that would be the winning move. Every year there's one move. Like last year it was whoever gets Jesse out, it's probably going to win the season. I think that's the move this season. Whoever turns on the Tika Alliance is probably going to win this season.
Yeah, because Gabler had how many votes? Gabler pretty much got every vote except for one.
He would have played the third ever perfect game other than James, or if James didn't vote for
Cassidy. So he got every vote. So that means whatever he said, how he said it. But here's what the viewers miss when you don't get a chance to see but one side of the show. The relationships that develop behind the scenes that doesn't make it, that drops on the edited floor. That's why they voted for him. They didn't vote for him because they was like, oh, okay, no, I didn't like Cassidy. I think Cassidy played a great game. Mm-hmm. But ultimately the jury is the deciding factor on who gets it. Now, I applaud everybody that got there and you're going to make it to the final five. And you get a chance to compete to get there to make to the final three, and then you get a chance to become sole survivor. That is going to be exciting no matter what happens.
You bring up Gabler almost playing a perfect game. There's one person this season who still could play a perfect game. It's very unlikely, but Lauren still has not received any votes this season. She would have to not receive any votes in the finale episode and then sweep the jury. So we'll have to wait and see. We do have a comment here that got left to us a couple minutes ago. It's from Dova. Heidi had to play the idol even if she knew she was not going to get any votes because there was a possibility of a tie vote and they needed to go to rocks. There definitely could have been. If Jamie, Heidi, and Lauren all voted together for a Tika member, it could have been a 3-3 split. Say that Tika was going after Heidi and she played her idol. I mean, that would have sent a Tika member home. So, and then
you don't automatically go to rocks. What happens is you get the first vote, it ties.
You get to vote again, yeah.
And then you re-vote, and they say if you re-vote, here's what the outcome. But we haven't seen anybody go to rocks since when? When was the last time we saw somebody go to rocks?
Don't.
So we're assuming that rocks is a part of the season, but we've yet to see anybody go to rocks. So I mean, I would hope that they would keep it spicy and. Like last night, I put up there, let's bring that hourglass in right now. At this episode, let's throw the hourglass in there.
No. Don't bring that hourglass back.
If we're going to bring a rock, we're going to bring rocks, we might as well bring hourglass back.
Don't bring that bad juju back here. Don't do that, Abraham. But hey, let's go ahead and talk about the person who went home a little bit. Jamie was an incredible person this season, had an amazing attitude. Honestly, I can't wait to meet the entire cast, and we'll talk more about that and where we're going to be going next week here in a little bit. But Jamie is one of the people I'm looking forward to meeting the most because she seems like the nicest soul ever. The producers and the editors did her a little dirty this season with the whole fake idol thing and the clown music and whatnot. But I think she's going to be a great sport about it. And what did we think overall about Jamie's game? Because honestly, she didn't have the strongest game, but I think Jamie played a really good social game. And in the end, she just ran out. She was on the wrong side of the numbers when it came down to it. And I will say before you take over, Abraham, and give your opinions on Jamie's season and her exit, I think if Matt stayed longer in the game, and I'm talking to Matt who injured his arm, I think Jamie's whole game would have changed. That was her number one ally, out of the game instantly. So I think that kind of hurt her game, but I think overall she played a solid, not great, but solid game.
I think where Jamie tripped up at when she was trying to tell people she didn't have an idol.
Mm-hmm.
You should have just let it go. I mean, you're trying to defend a position on something that you on a show that everybody thinks everybody's lying anyway. So you could have just let that one go and be like, I didn't have the idol, or just didn't say anything else unless somebody said something. And I think she never really got back on track once she did that. So now you're just kind of scrambling the whole time and your name keeps coming up. But she also wasn't aligned with anybody. I mean, her and Lauren were aligned together, but Heidi is also with Danny gone. She's kind of out there in the island by herself. She's sticking to Jamie's spot for the next episode, where Jamie was the one that was out there solo. At least Lauren probably is going to work with it. I mean, they're in editing, they're really paying up Carson and they're really playing up Jam Jam. But you also taking away and saying, okay, Lauren is still winning over here. She's still in the game, so she hadn't become a target. I just think that Heidi is a great, I met her before. She's a great young lady. And she just tripped herself up and just never could really get back.
Are you talking Heidi or Jamie?
I'm sorry, Jamie. She tripped herself up with that fake idol that she didn't know was a fake idol until she saw the episode now. And she just never really got back on track and solidified that third person in the alliance. Now, when they should have went back and started saying, whoa, what's going on? And what is Tika doing when they start chopping the legs off of Lauren's tribe?
Yeah, Ratu when
Ratu was getting chopped down left and right. They should have said,
Brandon.
What's going on? Yeah, because if Brandon was still there, this would be a different game. If we'd have had a strong three that was working together against the Tika tribe, now I would love to see who's going to be that deciding vote, which would have played in Heidi's favor because now she becomes the swing vote.
Mm-hmm. But I think it's interesting going into next episode. And if you guys haven't been, if you haven't been able to tell, while we are breaking down the episode that aired yesterday, there wasn't a lot. Like I said, there was a lot of talking, and we're going to get to the challenges in just a minute because I know Abraham loves talking about these challenges out there.
Sanctuary.
Yeah, and the sanctuary again. The way you said that was amazing. But we're also going to kind of be looking ahead towards next week. So the point I was getting at is it's going to be interesting now. You have Lauren and Heidi, and you have the Tika trio. And Abraham, I think we don't have to spend too much time on it because we talked about it a little bit. But I think like the Tika trio, if you really want to make a big move, if you want to solidify yourself to be the sole survivor of season 44, which we'll talk about more at the end about how much I've loved this season as a whole, other than one episode. But I think if you want to become sole survivor, you have to take out the other Tika members. If I'm Carolyn, Jam Jam, or Carson, I want to take Lauren or Heidi. I want to take both of them to the end. I want to jump on the Lauren and Heidi train and take those two to the end. I think that's my best chance to win. Take out Carolyn, take out Carson if you're Jam Jam, vice versa. If you're Carolyn, take out Jam Jam, Carson. I think you want to be sitting next to Heidi and Lauren. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they handle these last couple days on the island.
Yeah, it's going to be, and next week is going to be fire because it's going to be like, okay, which one of them breaks the filing ranks first? My money's on Jam Jam, but here's the thing. I would
say Jam Jam, yeah.
I can't trust Jam Jam no more because Jam Jam has proven that he gave. And here's the thing about it is the lower the numbers are, the least you can hide in the vote. They already know 2 members voted for Carolyn. They know 2. They don't know which 2, but they also know it took the remainder of them to vote for Jamie to get Jamie out. Now, what you can ascertain out of all that is they didn't vote the way they said they voted. So now you're looking at them like I can't even trust them. So now we're about to see, okay, which one says we can trust somebody on Tika to vote with us? If nothing else, they're gonna at least get 2 votes. So whoever it is they vote for is gonna get 2 votes. They just got to have that third vote to get somebody else out. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to get down to these last 3. But I mean, as far as the season goes, like I said, I like to see that the seasons are building from season 41 and growing and doing different stuff. Now, the sanctuary, I understand that now you can't take them off the island, but there's boats, there's yachts. They're not in the middle of nowhere.
This is the third time we've been to the sanctuary this year. Abraham, would you ever let me burp in your face to try to smell chocolate and sandwiches like Carolyn did in the episode last night where Jam Jam comes back and she goes, just burp in my face. Even it was so funny. It was my favorite part of the episode when Jam Jam goes, yeah, I've never done that before. And it instantly cuts to Carolyn going, yeah, I felt really silly after doing that. Like,
there's times when you're on the island, man, and you may get a little foggy because you didn't get something to eat or something. But there's no time that ever I thought about that at any stage of any part of any game. I mean, we look at it for the quirkiness of it. We look at it for things that we probably wouldn't see people normally do or say. And I gotta say the leading 3 are Jam Jam, Carolyn, and Danny.
I mean, this season has been this season has been all about dragons, swords, shields, farts, and burps.
And I'm like,
that has been this season.
I wouldn't do it. I'm not saying that others wouldn't do it. I'm just saying what me as a player on Survivor would not do. That would definitely be in the top of my top 5 list of things not to do. But again, we look at it for that entertainment value. And here's the thing about it is Carolyn is great. I've met her in person. She's a great person, great spirit. I understand where she's coming from, and I understand how Jam Jam can coexist with her in a harmonious environment of Survivor and be successful. So it's interesting to see. But I'm like, no. To answer your question, no. If you did it, I would automatically mush you. I would be like, ugh, you got to get mushed, man. You can't be doing that shit. What's wrong with you?
Abraham's not about the burping. Let's talk about these challenges really fast. Abraham, we're one of the podcasts that we really do love covering the challenges, even though some people don't enjoy them, but they are a big part of Survivor, big part of the episode. We did get the reward challenge. Was the same challenge that we had last season where you put someone in the ball, you have to roll them through the forest, and then they have to solve a puzzle at the end. Their tribe members are blindfolded, and while they're like hanging sideways, they have to kind of help them solve this puzzle. It seems like an easy puzzle, definitely difficult to do when you're blindfolded. I like this challenge. I don't want to see it again. I wish they take a couple seasons off from it. Now you've done it back-to-back seasons. I'm sure we're going to see it again next year. But I mean, this is a fun challenge. I always like when they're running through the woods.
Yeah, I love to run through the woods blindfolded and running and stuff. Yeah, I think that's a great challenge. No, I don't. Here's the thing. Carolyn got lost on the challenge, which is easier said than done. Because once you get detached on the ball, you really don't know where things are going, and the person that's in the ball is kind of disoriented too. So it has a level of fun to it. You're right. It was good. I don't need to see it next year. I think next season. Here's about the challenges thus far. All of them for the season, the last several seasons. Let's stop rewatching stuff. Now I do like the water challenge where you basically gotta survive. That's the real because it's survival. So I like that challenge.
Yeah, I would say do that every year. I think that should be a Survivor. I would be fine if they do the last gasp challenge every season. Like I think that should be like a goal on Survivor. You know, it should always be at the final 7, final 6, pick a spot for it. And that should be a goal. If you go on Survivor, you should be like, man, I really hope I make it to the final 6 so I can do the last gasp challenge. Yeah, make it a staple of the show.
if you're not going to leave Fiji, you can set all this stuff up. I can see if you were moving from place to place and you got to set it up, you got to tear it down, but you're basically utilizing the same areas, and you can construct it and say, okay, we're going to do a whole new host of challenges. It's set up for that, so you don't have to keep rewatching these challenges. And I mean, there's plenty of challenges. Look at Australia, look at South Africa. Don't be afraid to take from them and make ours better. I like some of the more physical challenges because I want to see people really compete. And I see how in the individual challenges, I don't want to see that one where they roll the ball with their hand tied behind their back and they got to catch the ball. I don't want to see that. Let's do something else. Let's go to Australia where you have to stand in the water and they don't have those kind of rocks in Fiji, but let them rocks beat you to death. And you know what? And they got the little thing to turn you back.
That challenge, Abraham, was badass. That's one of the most badass challenges I've ever seen.
And you don't have to even have the water. That was just for special effects, but you don't even have to have the water.
We all remember who won that challenge too.
Yeah, she was an athletic challenge beast.
Beast Liz. But what about this immunity challenge, Abraham? Did you enjoy the immunity challenge? We got to see your girl, Lauren, win her second individual immunity, coming up clutch against Heidi. You're looking at two people who possibly could have really used that immunity. If Lauren did not win, do we think Lauren would have went home last night, or do we think the vote still would have been Jamie?
I think the votes it was going to be between Jamie and Lauren. So either way, one of them would have been going home last night. Here's the thing about it is those challenges you're really working for. I love any challenge you got to work for. Because you know what? It looks like it may be easy, but when you get out there,
once that ball gets moving, there's no saving it. I mean, Lauren saved it, but pretty much once that ball gains momentum, it's dropping off the ledge.
I was talking to Deshaun about the one that you had to put together and hold it together.
Oh,
he was like, nah, man, I had it, man. I knew how to do it. This was gonna be an easy one. He said he went up there, bam, dropped it. I like those type of challenges because you really got to stay locked in and make sure that you are in that space only. I thought Heidi was gonna win because Heidi was looking pretty good there. If you can recover and not do too much, you can win that challenge. That's why I say Lauren is looking pretty good as far as these challenges coming down the home stretches, winning these challenges. And if she wins the last two challenges, she wins that, Lauren is a sole survivor, period. She won her way in there. There should be no question about who beat who voted for who, because she voted people out just as much as the other Tika Tribe did. And Tika Tribe, you took everybody to the end. Carson hadn't won not one challenge. Hadn't even been no, I'll take that back. He did win a team challenge where he had already 3D'd the puzzle at home. So he did help his team win.
Yeah,
off that one, which definitely impacted the game.
It did, and I mean, props to Lauren last night winning the challenge. Great. I loved watching it. And then we do have to mention they went back to the sanctuary where they had. What was it? Sandwiches? Sorry.
Hold on, I forgot. Tacos.
It wasn't tacos. It wasn't it was sandwiches and sweet tea and chips and okay, so we're giving them bag lunches now. We're giving them school bag lunches to eat.
Let me tell you something. The longer you are on Survivor, the worse stuff hurts. I'll put it to you that way. It may sound good and you may want to eat it all, but remember now they're around in the corner of 20 plus days of coconut. We ain't seen a fish yet being fried up. Nobody's brought a fish back.
Nobody can
get oysters, none of that stuff. So you basically eating coconut, drinking coconut water, and I haven't seen anything else. And that's in water and whatever you went in the challenge. That is all you eating. So when you get a sandwich, a real sandwich, and you jump on that sandwich and then you dice that and then you drown it down with sweet tea, think about that. Think about that.
Yeah, you're up all night. You just ask Carson how the food tastes a lot.
Oh, that peanut butter and jelly got him broke off right.
It tore him.
He was like a PB&J. I was like, man, I wouldn't eat. You know what? I hate the peanut butter, man.
Abe, don't put that message, don't put that image in our head, Abe.
Hey, that thing locked him down.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, one of the moments of the season. I think the last thing that I want to talk about the episode last night and what took place is Heidi obviously played her immunity idol, and we talked about that a little bit. Was there anything that Heidi, Lauren, or Jamie could have done differently to get out one of the Tika members? I mean, could they have pushed more for Carson? Could they have pushed more for Jam Jam or like what could they have done to maybe save themselves? Because it just didn't seem like in the end they were on the same page.
Look, here's the thing. No matter how fast you think this game is moving, you have to find somebody you can trust. You got to find one ally and y'all got to roll with it. And you got to say, look, I'm going to roll with this person right here until you are at a point where I got to get rid of them. Because Heidi is on an island by herself. Lauren and them, they was like, okay, we together. And they voted together. Had Heidi voted with them, this could have been a different outcome. We've probably been talking about somebody different.
Yeah, I'm really confused about what Heidi's game is at the moment. Like, what does she really think she's with Tika? Does she really think Tika is going to take her to the final three? I mean, she has to know something that we don't know because of the edit, because she does not want to work with the Ratu members. I'll say that.
Well, she's on the outs now because now you got it to be 3-2. Once you get the numbers in your favor, really, unless one of them has to win immunity next. So if neither one of them wins immunity, you're just going to pick off the other person.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way that changes and you not pick off these last two, if one of the ones on Tika decide I can't take them with me and I got to get rid of them, and then they're going to be like, okay, I'm going to vote to get this person out. And then because you don't have any immunity idol, you got to say, well, I got to take you for your word. And you could be the fifth person voted off Survivor or the fourth person voted off and don't even give a chance because you didn't build those relationships going down the home stretch. And that's what it comes down to. You got to build those relationships to come down the home stretch. Let's go back to season when Marianne won. Marianne was the happiest voice on the island. You know, then she had a couple of rocky spots in there. But then she came down to the end and she gave her speech at Tribal. And then to top it off, she pulled out a hidden immunity out of that she didn't have to play. So at the end of that, nobody was going to beat her.
I mean, Heidi could have maybe kept her immunity idol.
She could have, but again, she didn't trust anybody. She didn't trust them enough to say, they're not going to vote for me. I know Jamie's on the block. I'm going to go ahead and vote with her because now we can all say hindsight 2020. Had she not played it last night, she guaranteed herself a spot in the final four. Guaranteed a spot in the final four. And she could have won the next immunity and guaranteed herself to be in there. But
guaranteed a chance to maybe go to fire at the very worst.
Yeah, or go to the final three. Here's the thing about it is, I like her for being on the show. I like her background, everything else, but I gotta agree with you. I think she's a 0 vote.
Yeah. I think
either the editor didn't show us enough, and the editor may not show us what the jury will show us. Put it that way. The jury may show us something different, but ultimately, there's nothing she can really say that says that she did better than anybody else in the body of the game right now.
Well,
in the body of the game, she's fifth. In the body of the game, she's number 5.
Yeah, I agree. And I think everybody should be fighting to take Heidi to the end because I just think that's someone that I know I can beat them. Heidi, I mean, she's not a GOAT. She is not a GOAT this season. She's been making moves. She's been hustling. I just think compared to everyone else, it hasn't been there. Before we go to break here, I got to put this up. Leopold Film says, why was Carson excited for sandwiches? Didn't he get sick from a sandwich? As Abraham says, you will do a lot for food.
Don't eat for 20 days. I'm telling you, look, you're going to eat the sandwich. I'm going to eat the sandwich. I'm telling you, don't, because after 20 days, your body readjusts to coconut. Let me tell you something. I don't even mess with coconut now, but you're eating coconut. You're drinking coconut milk. And if you're lucky, since the rock crabs come on the ground, you can actually get a rock crab. But you're not getting, this ain't Red Lobster rock crab. You're getting one leg. One leg. You're not getting the whole crab unless you're out there crabbing. So
and there's no asking for more.
No. And you're drinking water. Look, here's the thing about it is, this is not filtered water through the Brita system. This is well water. It smells different. It's not, dude, there's no fluoride in this water. I used to drink the water. I'd be like, man, this water, it's not a bottle. This ain't spring water. We used to tell ourselves, don't put the canisters over the well because it's going to drop dirt in the well. So we used to put the canisters on the side, and because Muggs was just at first, I was like, "Hey, nah, that's dropping dirt in there. We got to drink that water." I mean,
Abraham, just listen to Rudy. It's fine. He was in the military. It's fine. We can just drink straight from the well.
I'm in the military. I ain't drinking that from no well. Hey, well, I did have a foolproof plan on my first night on the island. So I said, you know what? It takes about 2 or 3 hours for the water probably to engage to make you sick. I let everybody drink their water, and I was like, I'm good. I'll just wait. And I just kind of I'm
See
monitoring for
how
a
it
couple
is.
hours, and none of them got sick. I said, well, I'm good. Then. Now on the Green Tribe, with Brad and Sarah
Shan and
and all them,
Jeannie and yeah.
Shan had them boil that water. He was like, I ain't drinking it. Y'all gotta boil it. I was like, that ain't boiling no water. I don't think we boiled water one time. So
Oh
we
man, the insights.
it's some funny stuff. It's some funny stuff. But I ain't boiling no water, man. I just made sure they didn't get sick. Um who got sick the second day? Uh what's the name's name? She ate some her and Xander was eating some snails or something. I was like, I'm gonna need that shit. And she got sick and she threw up. She threw up right there.
It, that's how you do it on Survivor. I
No,
mean,
that's not how you do
come on,
it. Look,
that's how you do it, man.
you get out there eating all kind of crazy stuff, think you're going to survive, you're gonna be in the hospital when you get back. Um, there's, I mean, because there's parasites and bugs out there. It's in the jungle. Ain't like they sanitize nothing. I mean, shit, what?
No. I mean, yeah.
No.
I mean, this is what you have to prepare for. If you go out on the show, like Jeff says every week, definitely, if you are up for the challenge, apply. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we are going to look ahead to the finale episode next week, give our predictions, who we think is going to finish where, who's going to lose at Fire, and we will give you our thoughts on our player of the episode while also spreading some very exciting Survivor news, and maybe some news about international Survivor. Yeah, we've got some news to share. We will be right back.
My name is Jonah Fielko, and I'm the CEO of Bracketology.tv, fantasy sports for reality television. We offer fantasy games for shows like The Bachelor, Survivor, Big Brother, RuPaul's Drag Race, and counting. You start by creating a community. Within your community, you can create a fantasy league for each show that you want to play fantasy games for. Within the league, you can choose up to 3 of our 4 game types, and our most popular is the Advanced League. Choose a team of contestants, and depending on what they do and say during the episode, that's how your team will gain or lose points each week. We also have elimination-style games like our Confidence Pool. This is where you choose how confident you are that each contestant will survive elimination that week. And we've also got March Madness-style brackets. Come back a couple hours after the episode to check your scores and watch you climb the leaderboard. Bracketology is free to play, so grab your friends, your family, your coworkers, and head to bracketology.tv for more info.
I don't want to brag, but everyone keeps saying, hey, should we watch Fantasy Outlook with Randy Bruce every Wednesday morning to see who we should play on our fantasy teams? You should, because I told you to play Lauren and Carson this week, and they were the 2 highest scorers. And now in our mergatory competition, who is leading the competition? Whoop! That would be this guy. Who,
You finally leading for a change? You know how you.
Oh, I'm leading. I've got a big lead, Abraham. I am cruising. And Leopold right here. Bracketology has a lot. It is really fun. You guys got to play next season. We're going to have some amazing prizes for you guys next weekend or next season. If when we do this again, yeah, next weekend. Just that's when the next season's coming out.
Where dude going? Okay.
Abe, let's go ahead and wrap up. Speaking about this episode, and let's give our player of the week. So the person who won player of the week last week was not Jam Jam. When I said it should have finally been Jam Jam, it was Carolyn who had the big idol play. So Abraham, who do you have taking home player of the week this week?
You know, it's Lauren. She wins player of the week.
Okay, and
you got outplay. She outlasts him. She won the challenge. You win the challenge and you keep yourself alive. Player of the week.
I'm gonna give it to
What the heck?
Lauren. Lauren's a good one.
I need to get my tiki stick out, my little tiki thing out, because this dude.
I'm gonna give it to Carolyn
What did Carolyn
for
do?
back-to-back weeks. I think she did a great job. Even though she wasn't even though she didn't make the best you know what? I changed my mind. I forgot. See, we do this on the fly. This is all live. I was gonna say Carolyn until I remembered she listed out her entire book of what she's done in this game. I'm gonna say Carson. I think Carson is doing a great job playing the middle. He helped his team win the reward challenge. I still don't think people, even though Jamie said, look, Carson's probably the biggest threat in the game, we really didn't see any moves made against Carson. I think Carson's in a great position, and that transitions us. So those are your two options this week, Lauren or Carson. Vote for who you think should be player of the week. And then let us know in the comments if you agree, disagree, who you think. That leads us into making our finale predictions. Before we begin making our predictions for the finale, Abraham, this is something we did last season of Survivor Australia. It was a new tradition. We started doing the rites of passage, going through and talking about every Castaways game, paying our respects to those who went out and played the game, and talk about how they did this season. I mean, tell the people, tell the viewers who may not have seen us do this for Survivor Australia how fun this is.
This is fun because, I mean, again, as the show goes on, you kind of put the other players that have come before them in the back of your mind. You kind of just focus on the players that are currently being played, but we kind of get a chance to go back and remember some of the cool stuff or some of the moves that were made, or we got to go back and see how they played the game. I don't think I don't see Bruce in there, so Bruce doesn't get he don't get rights to pass.
No, Bruce is in there. He's kind of hard to see because of the flame, but he's the bottom left hand corner.
But that's Bruce, because like he got a little afro and Bruce ain't got no hair. But anyway.
No, that's Matt who has the afro right above him. The faces overlap.
Oh, okay. So we got Bruce in there, even though Bruce is coming back in 45. But again, we get to talk about, Bruce was night one, he was gone back, but we get a chance to talk about his effort and stuff like that. So it's a great time to go back and look at the players and give a little shout out to everybody that played the game of Survivor and get a chance to talk to them again and see what's going on.
And we will record that. We will be going live on YouTube tomorrow morning at about 10 a.m. to look back on every player this season. You don't know who's going to be there. I'll be there. I believe Abraham's going to be there. We might have David and Tegwith. We might have Jack and Will. We might have the entire crew. You have no idea who's going to come on for Rites of Passage. And it's just a fun time to look back on the season as a whole. We kind of laugh. We share moments from the entire season. It's probably going to be a longer podcast, probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So come out, watch that live stream, and have a good time. That's going to be tomorrow. So, and if you want to hear our big preview for the finale, go to that. We're going to give you a little sneak peek here. Abraham, let me tell you something I'm hearing a lot. A lot of people think they can call this season. They know exactly how it's going to play out. They are saying Lauren is going to get eliminated at 5. They're saying Carson's going to lose at Fire because there's been a lot of foreshadowing with Carson and Fire. So a lot of people think Lauren goes out first. Carson loses at Fire. That leaves you a final 3 of Heidi, Carolyn, and Jam Jam. They think Heidi gets no votes. They think Carolyn gets 1 or 2 votes. And they think Jam Jam wins this season. That has been the overall statement from the fan community, kind of the average prediction for the finale. So do we agree with that? Do we disagree? How are we seeing the finale? Because I'll throw it out there. I think Carson's winning this season.
Let me debunk that thing about Carson. Carson made a 3D replica of one of the games. You think he can't make Fire? I mean, making Fire is the easiest thing he can do.
Jesse was out there. Jesse was out there for 25 days and couldn't make Fire.
Yeah, but Jesse didn't make a 3D replica of a game so he could practice. Carson did. So I'm pretty sure if he did that part, he did the fire making part. I think that coming down to it, Lauren wins immunity at 5. She wins another immunity. Now you're forced to vote out either a Tika member or Heidi. That's it. So if you vote out Heidi and Heidi's gone, or you vote out a Tika member, that changed the whole complexion of the game. Now, whoever goes to fire, because we're down to 5, whoever goes to fire, then it's up to them. It all depends on if you put time in to make fire. Carson can make fire. So, but I think if you have Jam, Carson, and Lauren sitting there, Lauren wins. Carson comes in third. Jam comes in second. Because you got to remember, the jury determines who's going to be sole survivor. Not how much they think Carson played. They're going to be like, well, Carson really did this or that. And that's where it comes in that if you're going to increase the amount of time Survivor is going to be airing in season 45, give us a little more of that behind the scenes so we can see those relationships being developed. So we know why this person really voted this way. So it's going to be kind of interesting. But if I had to go to my final 3, I'm going to go Jam, Carson, Lauren. And I'm putting Lauren as sole survivor.
He may be biased. Him and Lauren, good friends. He may be biased.
I know them all. I know Lauren. I know Cam. I know Jam. I know Carson.
Nah,
I'm looking at how you play the game.
I know. No, I know. I had to mess with you there, but I'm a little. The only reason I'm kind of nervous about Carson winning is I guess the episode title for next week is like an amazing season, an astonishing season, something like that. That's the name of the episode. And that just sounds like something Carolyn or Jam says after they win. Like I could see them being like, this season was amazing, like something like that. So, point blank, no matter who wins, even if it's Lauren or Heidi, yes, they haven't got the biggest edits. I keep saying this. You have to look past the edits. And when people say, what does that even mean? It's impossible. You can only watch the edit. I get that. What you have to know is exactly what Abraham says. There's so much stuff that happens off the edit. You have to take that into effect. We may not be seeing it, but it's happening. So you just have to, whoever the jury awards the title of sole survivor to, they deserve it.
Who do you think Brandon and Danny's going to vote for? They got to vote for Carolyn because they're
not voting for Carson. I think Carson's winning this season.
I think Danny played the game of Survivor. He's going to look at it and say, okay, who played? Because he played hard the whole time. To the point to, he could have slowed up a couple of spots and probably would have saved himself. Don't play your immunity idol and then eliminate the person that you played your immunity idol in the very next vote. That don't work out too well for you. So, but we got to think about it. When they went to the little feast, they already told Carolyn, you just here. So unless Carolyn has shown them something that's amazing, guess what? They're not gonna get the vote. And Survivor got a certain level of pettiness in it. So that's 2 votes not going that way. The 2 Star Trek lovers, they on there. Who they gonna vote for? Are you gonna vote for the people that voted you out? Again, it's hard to say until the votes are in if you respect the title of the game. Who outplayed, outlasted, and outwitted everybody? That should be the criteria for who you vote for sole survivor. Not, man, you know what? They voted me out and I'm still mad. But we know that's a part of Survivor too. So we know some people going to vote the way they feel and not the criteria. So I'm going to say Danny and Brandon are not voting for Carol. So that's 2 votes.
I mean, fair assumption. Well, just enjoy the finale, guys. It is crazy that we're coming to the end here. Abraham, where are we going next week? It's kind of fitting that you have the inside of an airplane behind you, because this is some symbolic stuff going into next week. We have a very jam-packed schedule. I mean, we are going to be everywhere next week.
It's going to be epic. It's going to be an epic week. We will be attending the Bryson Wynn Presents. They're putting on a couple of things. They're going to put on the meet and greet on Tuesday. That's set up. And then we're going to have the finale on Wednesday. And I'm trying to remember where the town hall event is going to be at. Where is it at? They're going to have a town hall event on Tuesday at 5:00. Where's that?
Yeah, just to let you guys know. So yes, they're having it's Real Talk Mental Health in Reality TV. They have some incredible guests. Brooke Cammy from The Amazing Race, Andrea Bohike. I think that's how you said her name. James Wallington from The Challenge and The Amazing Race, Jen Hoffman from The Apprentice, Bryce Isaiah from Survivor, obviously, and Wendell Holland from Survivor are all going to be panelists, and they're going to be talking about mental health and the toll of reality TV. And then on Tuesday, with DJ Caution, they're going to have karaoke at the welcome party that is at Bounce Sporting Club in New York. And then you have the finale watch party on Wednesday. I mean, Abraham, I'm just going to go through these names really fast. By the way, if there's a small echo, apologies. I think I hear a small one. I don't know why it's there, but
it's popped up.
Yeah, just my voice. It's just my voice. A small echo. But let me read these real fast. Mike Gabler, season 43 winner. Jesse Lopez, Mike Turner, Omar Zahir, Owen Knight, Evie Jagoda, Andrea Bohai, Carla Cruz Godoy, James Jones, Eliza Orleans. Oh my gosh, Chrissy Hoffbeck, Tiffany Seeley, Deshaun Radden, Julie Rossenberg, Sammy. I always butcher his name. You know who I'm talking about. Noelle Lambert, Jeannie Zhang, Lindsay Carmine, Gio's going to be there. Chris Hammond, Josh Canfield. That's all the Survivor players. High is going to be there. High from season 42. And that's just half the people. I've also heard there's going to be some surprises. I don't want to spoil it, even though they spoiled it for themselves. I mean, not to mention the Amazing Race stars, Big Brother stars. This is the place to be. Unfortunately, night 2 is sold out, but you can still get tickets to the pre-party on Tuesday, which is going to be much more relaxed, much easier to catch people. I am so excited to go, and you'll get to meet Abraham and me because we will be there as well. Abraham, these events are always an incredible time.
It's a lot of people that's not on the poster that will be in attendance. For me, it's like, hey, let's go see the family. A lot of my actual season will be there. So again, catch up. We get a chance to catch up and hang out and do some things. But it's going to be a great 2-day event. We're going to be in New York. This is wrapping up season 44 Survivor. It's hard to believe that we're 4 seasons into this new era Survivor. And just to be able to see and hang out and enjoy the wrapping up of a season is great. So I'm looking forward to it. If you're in the New York area, come on out, hang out with us. I will probably be at every event, hanging out, having a good time. And then
you'll find me and Abraham hand in hand.
We'll be there together, not hand in hand, maybe shoulder to shoulder, next to each other.
He ain't holding my hand. That's for that's for my girl. That's for my girl and my girl only.
Posters that I lost Randy Bruce in New York. But now we're going to come out. Great season to wrap up. Great opportunity to meet some other Survivor players, to meet some of the alumni that are even more alumni than I am, and get a chance to chat with them because I'm pretty sure they'll be in the house. I got to text Dave. I got to text Boach, man. I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the house too. I hadn't seen him this year, so it'd be good to catch up and see him as well. I'm looking forward to it. Tuesday it kicks off. Everything.
Man, I mean, I am literally flying out of the Indianapolis airport at 6 a.m. in the morning. So, it really kicks off. It is on its way. I know I just got Gabler's number today. We're trying to hook up for lunch, Abraham. So we might need to get you to hook up with you, Gabler, and I.
Let me know, man. Him and Mike would be funny together.
Oh, would love to get that. That would be amazing. But we also have if you've stuck with us through all this, we have some Survivor news. So I'm not going to go through and name the names like I just did for the upcoming season, Survivor 45, but the cast list has been released. You can go find that on our Instagram or just go to Inside Survivor. They have released the entire cast. And let me just tell you, it looks like an amazing cast. It looks like it's going to be a really good season as well. It is all newbies except for Bruce. So we will get to see Bruce play again. I just hope he's not Francesca part 2 and goes out first again.
Well, I think Bruce got injured. So I think Bruce wouldn't have been the first vote out on the tribe. But Bruce had the opportunity to be able to see. Well, no, he didn't.
Yeah, so he didn't really do anything.
Here's the thing. Yeah, because of the way the seasons are filmed, Bruce probably went home, got medically cleared, and came back with 45 because they were already there.
I
'Cause they
mean,
would take
45. No, 45 just filmed. Like they should be.
no,
They should
45, 44 filmed the same time.
no
41, 42,
43 and
43,
44.
44. Ah, yeah, you're right. So
Yeah.
so
He
45,
had
46.
he had time to recover. 45 just finished filming. And then 46 will be in like the end of the month or something. Leopold says, sad there's only one Canadian. There's just one Canadian on the next season. So he's going to have to represent. And the other big news, Survivor UK is coming. They just uploaded the first ad for Survivor UK. It is coming out this fall. More international Survivor and Abraham. We are ready. We are ready for more Survivor.
It's interesting. I want to see what Survivor UK looks like. I want to see how they are actually where they're playing at, and just how they, because every country has its own language, mannerisms, style of playing. So the UK adds a whole new mix in there. So I'm looking forward to doing that.
Well, that's the thing. Everyone's going to be like, what do you mean you want to see Survivor UK? They're all the same. It's all Survivor. No, it's not. If you've never checked out the international seasons, Survivor Australia is much more physical. Survivor South Africa is much more, I would almost say, social in a sense. And Survivor US is much more strategic. So, I mean, there's a lot of differing factors that go into it.
We in the Survivor community, US has the shortest seasons of all the other Survivors. So think of how much more they do in the longer seasons. When you're there for 39 days and not 26 days, or you're there for 46 days, you're truly surviving. And they don't have 3 tribes; they have 2 tribes. So you kind of see the dynamics, everything developing. So it's going to be some interesting play. Looking forward to it. Survivor still going on around the globe. I'll be in the UK this year, so who knows? I might pop up.
Oh, maybe he'll be on the season.
I would already tell by now. I'm on the season. No, I'm not. I'll be in the UK, but I ain't on the season.
Well, let's talk about what's coming up here for Survivor now. Over this next week and going into finale week. So we've got a busy schedule for you. So right now they're still live on YouTube. I believe this show happened the exact same time as Survivor Social, their episode 12 recap. David had his good friend Adam. I don't know exactly how to say his last name, but Adam came on. Welcome to the Survivor Now family, Adam. Thank you for coming on Survivor Social. So right after you finish watching this, go check out Survivor Social and hear what they had to say about last night's episode. We already talked about it. The rites of passage is tomorrow. We will be breaking down and recapping the season as a whole. Oh, are you on the live right now, Abraham?
I'm on the live right now. I can get it to come on the screen, right?
Survivor Social. Yeah, see, they're live right now. But yeah, rites of passage tomorrow morning. Wake up and kind of reflect and look back on the season with us. Sorry, I still hear that echo. So apologies. Don't know what's happening there. And then next Monday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, join Jack and Will for Survivor Stock Watch. They make graphs. They look at the analytics of the show. They look at winners edit. So if you are into all of that, go check out Survivor Stock Watch. They put on a wonderful show. And next week, the schedule is going to be really awkward. So bear with us.
It's going to be fluid.
Monday will be the final fantasy outlook of the season. So join me. Sorry, that echo's really bugging me.
You're good. I don't hear the echo.
Oh, you don't hear it? Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Monday will be the final fantasy outlook of the season. So join me. I don't know exactly what time it's going to be, but more than likely early on, because like I said, I got to be at the airport 4 a.m. on Tuesday morning. So I'll be sleeping most of the afternoon. So it will probably be Monday morning. And then Abraham and myself are going to be in New York Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We might do a live podcast. I wouldn't put money on it because we probably want to go out and see New York. So I wouldn't put money on it, but I think we are both bringing our equipment just in case. But the recap show where we break down the finale will more than likely be sometime over the weekend or sometime the following week. So we don't know exactly when it's going to be, but we have some amazing guests lined up. Sam would like to come on. He wasn't able to come on this week, but he would love to come on next week. Nasir is going to be coming on. He does at least one episode a year with us. He broke down the finale with us last season. He's going to break down the finale again. Christy, the first ever winner of Survivor Australia. Well, after it got canceled and then brought back, she wants to come on. So we have a lot of amazing, wonderful guests for you guys. You never know who's going to show up. And then you will have Survivor Social, Survivor Stock Watch as well. It's just about, we don't know. It's going to probably be pushed back after next week because there's so much going on with the finale as a whole. And believe me, Abraham and I will be watching it, but we'll also be talking. So we'll have to rewatch it to make sure we can break it down.
Look, I will not be watching the finale until I come back home.
Yeah,
I will be there, but I probably will. We just never can look at it. So.
Yeah, we will be there. We'll know who wins. But in terms of actually listening and actually watching, we'll wait. We'll wait to do that a different day. But Abraham, before we wrap up here, what are you up to? You have a podcast coming out, sir. You've been putting in the work, and I want to shout you out, my friend, because this is a guy who didn't do podcasting until coming on the show, and now he's got his own podcast he's starting up.
Didn't do podcasting. Randy Bruce has been my podcast instructor. I've been working on my own podcast. It's not Survivor related. It's about building wealth, old school style, where we just keep it real and talk about the difference, the tools out there. This is not a podcast that you can say it gave you some directions. This podcast will give you the information to execute. We're not here to sell you anything. I'll be bringing some of my friends on that are realtors, work in the cybersecurity community. They fly drones. They work in real estate. We're going to have real, candid conversations about building wealth. How do you deal with your money? Randy will be on the podcast. We're going to talk about the Gen Zs and how they feel about it. You know, if you want to purchase a home, we're going to have realtors on there, and we're just going to have a good time. We have a good time. It's getting out there. I got the YouTube channel. I got a little work to do on that. I got my StreamYard ready to go. When I get it as pretty as Randy Bruce stuff, I'm a full-fledged launch. I got my first interview either Friday or Monday. I'm gonna do my first actual interview. I got 52 episodes already lined up. I'm just gonna get out there and I'm be like, hey, I'm in the podcast game, but I cut my teeth on Survivor Now podcast.
Ah, man, that was beautiful. And you can check that out on Instagram, Abraham. You guys have your own Instagram as well.
I do have an Instagram account. Survivor. Old School Finance with Abraham and Friends is going to be the handle for it. It's already out there. I got a few things already out there posted, but all that stuff is ready to go. I'm gonna do my very first interview. I already got me some shorts out there, so it's kind of funny. It's an entertaining thing. It's not going to be like any financial podcast you've ever seen that's out there now. We're just going to have candid conversations to give you some information to execute, to put you in a better position financially.
Love that, Abraham. I absolutely love it, and good for you, man. And I'm trying to help in every way I can. I've just been super busy. So just know that I'm going to be behind the scenes. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure to hit that notification bell so you are notified whenever we are going live. If you're listening on Spotify, make sure to follow the channel. Leave us a rating. It really does help us grow this show, grow our platform to bring you guys more Survivor content, especially Survivor US content. We do really well in Survivor Australia, Survivor US. We're still down the list in terms of Survivor podcast, go-to Survivor podcast. So rate the show. It helps us grow and get out to more people. Enjoy the finale, guys. One more episode left. 3 more hours of Survivor 44. It is sad. But until next time, we'll catch you in New York. Have a good day, everybody.
NYC.